Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Field of Glory 2, a new game out by Matrix and Slitherine Games. It's made by Byzantine Games, and it is a tabletop-feeling, turn-based tactical war game, which puts you in the shoes of a commander during the rise of the Roman Republic. So from 280 BC to 225 BC, this game takes a look at a lot of the historical battles that took place, a lot of the famous engagements that took place during the rise of Rome, from the Punic Wars all the way through to the Roman Civil Wars. With that being said, guys, this is part 2 of my first look. So just the other day I live streamed. I had a late night live stream during a thunderstorm, so you may hear some thunder throughout, where I was kind of giving my go at a first major battle in the game. And this is part 2 of that. So things are not super polished, they're not super clean. I don't know a ton about the game yet, although I will say the user interface is brilliantly done. It's a really easy game to pick up and play and kind of figure out how you maybe should do things. It's a really easy game to figure out how to issue orders, to fight, all of that. What it's really difficult at, or so far has been for me, is to do well, is to win. So it's challenging, but it's not obtuse, which I'm really enjoying thus far. With that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to my live stream self, and we will fight through part 2 of this battle between Carthage and Rome, with me on the side of Carthage. Oh, whoops. Undo. So we're turning our cavalry here. The enemy is moving some infantry here toward us. Sometimes I feel like I click a unit and it doesn't always move me over to the unit that I thought I clicked on. So that can be a bit of a challenge from time to time. Alright, so basically if the enemy wants to advance toward our front, they're either going to have to peel off substantial forces or expose their flank to this heavy cavalry here that's turning toward them. They're already peeling troops off, but that's going to take some of the power out of their offensive here, I'm hoping. You can see we've kind of got them in a horseshoe, with the enemy in the center and our own troops on each flank. It's not quite as simple as that, because they are turning substantial infantry forces to deal, especially here on this flank, to deal with our challenge. But nonetheless, we'll see how this all plays out. How many men have these guys lost? None? Okay, these javelin men are all at full strength. Okay. Turn them this way. And I'm waiting to use my elephants. I haven't really had a chance to use them yet, because my lines are all holding. Make sure they're... Does have any points left? Like it. Making sure they're all facing forward. These guys kind of retreated a little bit, so we'll pull these guys back up into line. I think they just evaded. They didn't really lose any casualties. So both the Roman generals on the flank and their cavalry units are either disrupted or losing really heavily. These guys aren't disrupted, but they've lost about 70 men. You can see one unit routed. These guys are routing. A lot of times units, when they route completely off the map. Some of these guys are just retreating. They're not actually routed. So they issued an order to get them out of the way, basically. So they're getting out of the way for the Roman infantry who can, you can see these guys just charged and broke through our lines. Or at least through that light infantry line. You can see another one just broke through on the flank as well. And I imagine some of these units are going to kind of melee on the flank. That would be my assumption. We'll see how the elephants do. Good, those cavalrymen just kind of retreated without engaging. That's actually what I want them to do in that scenario. But the enemy's line is kind of getting broken up, I think. We may be able to kind of isolate and destroy some of these units here. They're losing some of their cohesion, or at least that's what I'm telling myself. We'll see. Yes, Red Duke, the fight has started. Okay, you can see some melee here. The Romans actually charged us, losing far more men than they inflicted here. Nice! The general has fallen. So, let's take a look here. There's a log. I need to figure out where the log was. No, not there. Lower left. Combat log. Okay, so let's just see what happened here. Enemy general has fallen. Enemy casualties. So this unit here, which had a general in command, has fallen. So his general is dead or wounded or something. And now the enemy is going to lose some morale because of that. If we go to the casualties window also, we can see casualties in this fight. So we have 17,861 men that we came to the fight with. The Romans came with 16,400. Thus far, we've lost about 393. They've lost over 570 men. They've also lost 140 men, which are routing from the field. If they march off the field, I don't believe they will ever come back. So these guys who are routing, there's 140 of them, and if they move all the way off the field, they're just as good as dead as far as the battle's concerned. We're going to go ahead and charge into the enemy flank. See if these guys retreat. Did not. We'll continue charging. Continuing to hold firm, although they're definitely losing a lot more men than they're killing. Auto break route. So those guys and all of our troops are pursuing, which is not what I want. I don't really want them pursuing into the rear of the enemy army. Then they can just turn and hit us in the flank. But you can see we did influence or give them more casualties in our pursuit. Fire some archers or javelins into the flank of these retreating guys. We are kind of, you will, can't do anything with these. Okay, we can hit these guys with javelins. Okay, so these retreating troops are getting just battered to hell. Meanwhile, these 107 armored cavalry lost their general and are running. This is forcing the enemy to turn their Trahari on our cavalry, which is not also good for us, considering that those are spearmen. You can see here charging our cavalry into the enemy infantry was a bad idea. Lost a whole bunch of casualties. Is that a flank attack, maybe? No? Not really? Alright, well, we did more. We gave them more to think about. And actually, these enemies just gave us their flank and rear. So we can hit them from the flank and rear with javelins. Our footmen are disorganized, so I'd rather not fight there. I'm gonna charge these guys just to kind of try and keep them off my cavalry's flank. Actually, we'll charge those guys too. Mainly because I'm hoping they'll fall back, which they didn't do. You were supposed to run away, guys. Alright, so moving down the line here, you can see, and we'll feed a few more men here into this engagement toward the center. We'll actually pull one of these reserve units up too. Now, so toward the center, you can see the enemy did break through 2 of our javelin men, and they've now closed to our elephants. They're completely cohesive. They haven't lost any casualties or anything like that. But we're going to charge them with elephants and see what happens. You'll see that we inflicted 48 casualties by charging them with elephants. Now 43, so 3 elephant charges into these guys. Not a single casualty on our own men, and the enemy has lost heavily. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like we have enough maneuver or anything like that to do anything. So the enemy's fighting. You can see they've lost a bunch of casualties that have fallen on the ground. They're kind of dealing with attacks from their center and then their right and left flanks. They're fragmented, and they've lost over 100 casualties. That unit should be pretty much done, I'm hoping, anyway, as far as fighting is concerned. And so that nice little fallback line of elephants just really did their job in this particular engagement. And can I bring these guys forward? It doesn't look like I can attack these guys in the flank with our hoplites, by the looks of it, but we can. Well, can't do any of that. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull these guys back. All right. These guys have all used their stuff up. Meanwhile, the enemy general here is kind of running away. Brave Sir Robining. We're going to continue to pester him with our own light cavalry. Again, the goal would be to undo. The goal is going to obviously be to destroy or cause the general to fall. The enemy Trihari High actually started moving that too, so we'll go ahead and pull our heavy cavalry this way. Hopefully inflict some casualties. The nice thing at least about the Trihari High units is they are smaller. Yeah, so we're charging these infantry. We're losing some casualties and we are falling back, but at the end of the day we're actually causing more casualties than we're losing ourselves, which is kind of the whole point, I think, especially considering we outnumber them. Kind of disrupt them a bit. That's kind of my goal. Our horsemen there are pursuing cavalry. For whatever reason, those guys have their back turned. Guys up as well. We're really pouring troops into the left flank. And I think we'll end this turn, ending turn 6. Thank you for letting me know that, Tortuga, that they don't lose anything unless they lose the combat round. I did not know that. You can see here the enemy is retreating, continuing to retreat, and our own cavalry continues to pursue, inflicting casualties on them while they run. Our light cavalry is faster than them, so the enemy isn't able to outrun our light cavalry. The heavy cavalry, often that isn't the case. A lot of times I see heavy cavalry pursuing to no avail, but in this case it seems like they are successfully pursuing and inflicting casualties. You can see that the enemy is kind of broken through our initial line of infantry, and actually they've already inflicted heavy casualties on that hoplite unit. So we've got to be careful there. The Roman infantry is better than our own. And the Trihari High is just rear charged. I don't know if that was our general or what. But a lot of fighting, a lot of heavy fighting going on here. The enemy infantry is again outperforming our own. Those elephants are critical to our ability to do anything. The problem is they're coming harder on our right flank, and we've got 2 unengaged elephants on the left. So we'll see how this all works out. They are driving back our not our pursuing cavalry, but some of our cavalry. So some of our horsemen are getting kind of isolated, kind of in the rear of the enemy. The Pohonahai actually seem to do... Oh, never mind. I say just break and run. Ah! Okay, so we just... Well, don't charge them. Just stop pursuing. Just stay in position. Alright, so they just routed their first unit of ours. These guys are all pursuing, so I don't think I can give them orders. I don't think I want to charge these Trihari High. They're spearmen, which are not terribly vulnerable to horsemen. Can I charge into their flank a little bit? No? Our own troops just fell back. Flank attack, there you go. Nice, okay. Successful flank attack on those Roman horsemen. Fragmenting their troops, inflicting casualties. Use our infantry last, and you can see we just broke and routed those infantrymen. The problem is these damn horsemen just keep running. They're doing damage as they run after the enemy, but not... I want them to just stay in position. Alright, so... Move these infantrymen up here to replace the troops that ran. God damn it. Routing my own troops. charge into the flank of these guys. Only 14 casualties, really? Oh, they're in combat. I should have waited to do that till after. Eek. Alright, so can you guys charge? Flank attack, nice. Oh. God, these damn Romans. Too freaking good. Roman general. Alright, broken caused him to break and run. He may rally, but... already attacked with him. All right. I'm kind of tempted to just attack with these guys. Okay, that melee could have been worse. Stop pursuing, please. Alright, so I'm advancing some of my own javelin men forward to try and get some, try and get some good shots in on the enemy. Get some damage inflicted. It'll also kind of free things up for our elephants, who can move forward a bit, kind of reposition themselves. I think that's about all we want to do, though. I've already kind of moved these troops. I guess I don't really want to charge to the front of these elite, heavily armored spearmen. That would be bad. Would be a bad idea, so we'll just kind of leave that be. You guys are routing. I think casualties are still in our favor if we take a look at the casualty list. You can see here the enemy's lost about 1,500 men killed or wounded. We've lost about 1,000. We've lost 1,200 men routed so far. They've lost 800. So we're in the advantage at the moment. Their infantry's definitely taken a toll, though. See if any of their routing troops rally. We'll see if any of our routing troops rally. We were trying to flank them, but with their big focus on our left, they may well break and flank or rout our flank. Let's see. Okay, if you want to charge our elephants, go ahead. I'm more worried about their javelins doing some damage to our elephants. See there, they just disrupted our elephants and inflicted 2 casualties on them, which is about 10% of their total strength, so may not seem like a lot, but it is quite a bit. Alright, that charge didn't go so well. And this turns into just a clusterfuck really fast. Everybody charge in all directions! Is it our turn yet? No, still a lot more combat going on. Oh my god, 45 to 9. Someone just rallied. Not quite sure who. It was our cavalry, actually. Okay, so it's our turn now. These guys are disrupted, so hopefully a charge by cavalry into disrupted infantrymen will succeed. And it kind of does. These guys are routing. Not too worried about it. Like to fall back. That would be a nice option. A flank charge? No, it's not. Great. Trying to weaken some of these infantry. The Roman infantry units are so damn big. They charge. Oh my god, that unit's getting demolished. Oh my god! 52 to... Ugh. You'd think, like, some amount of charging against infantry would cause them to be like, I don't like this. I want to leave. Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay, so that was actually a good idea to charge those guys. That was a bad idea to charge them. And apparently you can engage multiple units if you're facing them. I think they're routed. I think they're gone. Okay, so we're kind of turning them on the far left, but kind of not. I know I need to use my other infantry, I just don't really have anywhere to bring them up and engage them yet. Somewhat on the left, where my troops are faltering, but right now I don't have a clear path to get these guys into combat. So it's kind of providing a fallback line, if you will. I guess we can move some of our horsemen over here. Our infantry, too. Maybe we can engage them with infantry and then charge them with cavalry. That would kind of be ideal. Rear attack! Wait, how do we lose 23 to 9 when we attack them from behind? What the hell just happened? Alright. So, we've got some of their spearmen kind of... I don't know, there's a lot of isolation all over the field. I don't have a very clear picture of what I'm doing. Alright, let's see if we can move up. Maybe on the right a bit. Move some of our troops over there. We'll move some of these guys forward to provide a little bit of support. I don't want to leave the elephants totally alone. We can fall some of these javelin men back through our lines. Move some infantry up to support. Protect the rear of the elephants by moving this infantry up. Move these guys up here. Alright, we're kind of committing the majority of our reserves. These guys, most of them are probably routing. I don't know what's still going to be saved. Good God. 43 to 11. What's the point of even trying to engage? 37 to 6. Alright, well, they're dying. Good at that, I suppose. Yeah, these foot infantry might be better if I was waiting till the Romans are disrupted. The problem is getting them disrupted. These guys are steady. I feel like the opportunity we have is more on the right. Alright, well that's going to end turn 8. I'm going to get rid of this combat log. It's kind of blocking some of what's going on. Okay, so that general unit dispersed, which kind of means it was, I suppose, it didn't fully route together as a unit. It kind of broke apart and kind of individuals went their own way. No, javelin men, don't throw your spears at our elephants. Don't hurt them. Okay, see how this fighting goes. Right, there, got rid of the combat log. There you go. The hoplites do okay in melee, but when the enemy charges them, they don't do very well. I wonder if there's a way you can route troops or rally troops more effectively. It seems like most of the time when units are routed, they move all the way off the map. I'm okay if the enemy wants to attack our elephants, because it seems like they're not having much success there. Alright, well that was an action-packed end of that turn. Elephants meleeing. Troops charging. I'm assuming these guys are... Oh, they're still steady. Good lord. Those guys are disrupted. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and end part 2 of Field of Glory 2. So far things have been going chaotically, I guess is how I'll put it. We're really suffering on our left flank. We're kind of holding our own at the moment, but things could certainly be going better. On our right flank, we're doing a bit better, and in the center, we're doing a bit better, but it certainly feels like, you know, the interesting thing with this game is it's one of those games where things can turn on you in a split second. So we'll see how things continue to play out, but thus far it's been challenging, it's been enjoying, but I've also struggled to figure out how to win this particular fight. And the Romans, you know, their infantry is vastly superior to our own. So we'll figure out how things go in part 3. But with that being said, guys, I hope you're enjoying the series thus far, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.